Everywhere we turn in nature, we find 528 Hz. Chlorophyll, which helps plants draw energy from light and gives them their green color, vibrates at 528 Hz. The bees that pollinate many of these plants buzz around at 528 Hz. And the rainbow that completes this picturesque scene has 528 Hz at its heart as well, as it reflects the same greenish-yellow light found in chlorophyll. The air we breathe also contains 528. We know that oxygen, for instance, carries these 528 resonating electrons. The basic structure of organic chemistry, the carbon-6 hexagonal ring, reflects the sacred geometry of 528 Hz frequency. But the frequency's significance in the natural world isn't limited to this planet. In fact, when recordings of the sun made by NASA scientists are compared to a tuning fork, we find 528 Hz there as well, at the heart of the star which is the center of our solar system. In 2010, there was a disaster at an oil rig owned by BP called the Deepwater Horizon, causing it to leak millions of barrels worth of oil into the Gulf of Mexico. An electromagnetic energy expert, John Hutchinson of Vancouver, along with his wife and research partner Nancy Hutchinson, decided to do something to help. They placed a device that emits frequencies on the beach about 25 feet from the water and used 528 Hz and other solfeggio frequencies to treat the water. They only did this for 4 hours, but the waters had miraculously cleared by the next morning. In fact, the water had so improved that dolphins, fish, and crabs returned to the area when just a day before those same waters would have been lethal for marine life. Of course, such an incredible story as John and Nancy Hutchinson's experiment in the Gulf of Mexico is sure to attract skepticism. These skeptics included Dr. Robert Neyman, an analytical analyst with decades of experience. But when he and his company, Analytical Chemical Testing Laboratory, Inc., tested the samples, it removed all doubt. The Hutchinson's method had reduced the amount of oil and grease from 7 parts per million to less than 1 part per million. In other words, the waters they treated had contained huge amounts of oil, and now they contained almost none. The official statement by the Analytical Chemical Testing Laboratory, Inc. states, "While the technology is not completely understood by the undersigned, it is clear that the process may have extreme value, and it should be given a chance to be presented and tested on a large-scale basis." But this wasn't the first, nor the last time that 528 Hz has proven itself in science. Glenn Ryan of the Quantum Biology Research Lab in New York conducted an experiment where he exposed in vitro DNA to different styles of music. He converted the music to scalar audio waves and used a CD player to broadcast it to the DNA. Ryan then tested whether the music had any effect on how much UV light the DNA absorbed. DNA absorbs UV light when its helix unwinds. And the results? The Gregorian chants, which used the solfeggio scale, caused the DNA to absorb significantly more light. Rock music, on the other hand, had no such effect. Though that experiment included other solfeggio frequencies, 528 Hz has shown the ability to heal DNA all on its own, and is used by biochemists for just that. Apparently, 528 Hz's effect on the surrounding water helps heal the DNA's helix. Biochemist Steve Comiskey was quoted in the book The Fork in the Road as saying, "The 6-sided clear clusters that support the DNA double helix vibrate at a specific resonant frequency, 528 Hz." The late Dr. Candace Pert, an American neuroscientist and pharmacologist who discovered the opiate receptor and the cellular binding site for endorphins in the brain, said that the energies and vibrations of these frequencies affect us on a cellular level, opening our chromosomes and exposing the DNA. Dr. Horowitz once predicted that musicians shall remedy what ails humanity, and it's the musicians that are heading the charge to bring 528 Hz back to the people who need it. In fact, the legendary John Lennon may have paid the ultimate price in his attempts to spread the love frequency. The music researcher Lunar Tuner recently discovered that the mega-popular song Imagine was actually recorded in 528 Hz. If you ever wondered why this song is so compelling and reaches so deeply into your soul, you know now. Dr. Horowitz has suggested that this earned Lenin the ire of the military-industrial complex, which is headed by people that profit from the chaos and conflict that grips our world, and that it was they who had Lenin assassinated. That's pretty heavy stuff, but it hasn't stopped musicians from trying to share the love. For example, the musician Scott Huckabee performs and records all of his music with A tuned to 444 Hz, which coincides with C at 528 Hz. Veteran piano designer and tuner Daniel Kohler has created prototype pianos that use the A at 444 Hz tuning in an effort to demonstrate its benefits. Could helpful frequencies like 528 Hz and other solfeggio tones create positive changes in our cells' vibrations? It seems very likely from what we've seen, but we're still waiting on modern medicine and science to catch up with what the ancients have known for at least 1,000 years.